All right, so this is a weird one to make. I've been thinking about how to approach this video for like a month, but I reckon that you like at some point you just got to do it. And that's kind of I'm at that point now where I just kind of got to do it. I don't want to say this is a bad thing, but for some people it might be, and for some others it will probably be a good thing. Notably me. So over the past few years, I don't want to say few, but it's been about two or three. I guess it depends on where I throw the dart at the board, to be honest. But to be 100% honest, this channel's been very stagnant and it's kind of sucked. I hate when I don't know what to do. And the stream over on Twitch has been the exact same way for years now, like 3, 4 years. And there's no one direction to blame at or like one specific cause or anything like that. But for the most part, FPS games in general have been bothering me a lot, in the sense of both content creation and just enjoying them casually. So the general direction of FPS games over the past several years has really bothered me a lot. As someone who typically enjoys the more core approach, like, actually shooting your weapons and, trying to mechanically and just like skill diff opponents, not saying that strategy isn't a very large component of that and vice versa, but the overarching decision making from developers and balanced teams that shifts less from mechanical skill being like a pinnacle and more about abilities and like fuck you buttons being more and more relevant than the shooting has really soured me a lot. And when you look historically, obviously I was a Destiny content creator for a very, very long time. Probably longer than most people have played the game at this point, which is wild to say since I started making content in year 1D2, so that's weird. But the direction of both that and other games in general have really soured my enjoyment for FPS and just content creation of FPS. Now there are some golden outliers, like strangely enough, I tried PUBG in 2024, and I think that is probably one of my favorite games ever. From a viewer perspective, if you're a little uncertain about what PUBG is or like what that actually looks like, or you just maybe you've watched Forsen play it or something like that, it definitely kind of has some of those Arma roots, which was kind of like a milsim shooter. Think of like Tarkov, but not really Tarkov. But it was actually quite arcadey. Not quite as arcadey as something like H1Z1 was, but it's got such an aggressive shooting skill gap where the weapons have such egregious recoil and your time to kills are so fast that it really does incentivize players for hitting the 2-bullet headshots, with most guns of course, and just general strategy. And I played first person perspective. Third person is kind of like whack to me, but I'll play it if my friends want to play it. So sorry to detour on the PUBG, but I had to give that little bit of context so that people understand what I enjoy about it. And you'll notice that a recurring theme here is the game is about shooting, not about throwing colors at your opponent, which is something I really can't, it bothers me. Moving on to the next point though, I kind of sat down and asked myself and really evaluated to myself, am I asking for too much? Am I looking for like a unicorn, a game that doesn't exist after, Destiny 2 kind of went in a direction that I disagreed with? And I think for a little while, yes, I was, but I think at this point, that's just objectively an untrue statement to suggest that I am looking for a unicorn. I don't think that that's true anymore. So now if we fast forward about 5 years to today, well, I would say like maybe about 3 weeks ago, I kind of just came to the conclusion that maybe I need to step away from content creation on FPS games. Specifically because I feel like the modern design choices they put me in such a negative mindset, and it's less about the design itself and it's more about creating content and things feeling like they have very little evergreen. I don't want to say evergreen because that's often used in content creation as a reference to something that like is always relevant. But they feel like they have such weak longevity, and their lifespans of the average FPS, and especially in content creation, is just so weak. And so with that being said, and that kind of being out in the air, I have no intentions on quitting content creation whether that's Twitch, whether that's YouTube. Like, I really, really like YouTube. So I kind of came to the tough decision to pivot away from FPS in general, and like just step away from them entirely. Like, I haven't really played any FPS for a few months. Like, no Counter-Strike because of the cheating problem, which is a different problem in and of itself, right? I don't really like Valorant, but I'll play it if my friends want to play it. Well, I haven't played it for a long time, but you know, no PUBG, no Fortnite, which is technically not an FPS, but you know, like, there's all the examples here, right? And so naturally that would bring up the question of, well, what comes next? Is there a next? Is this it? And I mean, the simple answer to that is no, this isn't it. Yes, there is a next. And that's why I'm going to be pursuing a degree in biomechanics. No, actually, I'm just going to be playing MMOs instead. Specifically, I came to a crossroad of what do I want to create content on, and what's the format that I would like to make it on. Now, I know that I'm quite a competitive person, right? We all know it. I don't like being bad, because that sucks. No one likes to suck. That's boring. And I have to decide on a game that, what is it, something new? Is it something I've played before? Am I going to leverage my experience as a new player or leverage my experience as a veteran? What kind of game, what kind of approach? Things like this have all crossed into my mind. And at this point, it kind of boiled down to like 2 or 3 things. Like, no, I'm not going to go into the Warframe direction that a lot of other Destiny creators have. The last time I played Warframe, like this in like 2011 or something, when they had an open beta a long time ago. That's not a joke, by the way. Maybe I played it once in 2014. I don't remember. It's not gonna be Path of Exile because, as much as I liked PoE 2, I never played PoE 1, and that seems to be the community favorite right now. And I kind of just like don't feel like playing Path of Exile 1. But that's not off of the table, right? And that's the lovely thing about like this genre, is it has so much overlap, and it's got like so much shotgun blast approach as a creator. And to stop like giga edging everyone here, it's not going to be WoW, because WoW, whether regardless of if it's WoW Retail or WoW Classic, has such like, holy shit, that's so boring, bro. It's going to be OSRS, probably. And the reason for that kind of starts and ends at the fact that I've played it for 22 years at this point. And I've got like over 20,000 hours played on it. And I have the general understanding of how the game content flows. And I truly feel like that I can probably make content, and especially filling a content void that currently exists that I am not really going to talk too much about because it doesn't matter from the viewer perspective, right? But I think I'm going to be able to make very interesting and entertaining content for a multitude of people. Now, I used to have a main account, but right now I'm playing an Iron Man pretty seriously. It's about 3K hours in. I made it 2 years ago in December, and a lot of focus is going to be on Iron Man content, Iron Man progression, and just different niche things and, you know, general things, approaches to Iron Man content that I feel like a lot of people don't cover or people poorly cover. Now, I can't promise that I'm going to be a settled or a Bodhi, but I can promise that I'm going to be a sides. And that's what I'm going to try to do going forward. Been a lot of like shadow downtime here in this channel, and I really just want to have fun again and make content, you know what I mean? So hopefully that's able to, you know, entertain some people here. To kind of wrap that point up, it just seems like it'll be a good time. Maybe I'll be able to introduce some new people to it and entertain some pre-existing players and, you know, drive a bit of a new audience. As far as the old videos regarding Destiny and stuff like that, I'll probably keep those up on the channel. Public, not unlisted, not privated, for the people that want to go back and watch those. And of course, I'm not completely quitting, but I'm definitely taking a bit of a step away, just because it puts creating content in FPS games right now just puts my mind in such a bad spot, and it kills a lot of motivation for me. And I wish it wasn't that way. I wish I had like that tolerance to just stupid bad design, but I just don't. Not anymore. in any case, my point being is I'm still like gonna go back and probably play stuff and do, you know, my usual 24 hours streams and things like that for, you know, Destiny expansions and various other games. But yeah, I mean, I gotta take a step away from the FPS creation because this shit's killing me, bro. Like, for 5 years straight, it was kind of like, wake up, oh, I'm gonna stream today, I'm feeling awake, you know, I'm energized, and then I would sit there and stare at my Steam library for like 7.5 hours and be like, damn, I should have streamed today, and just not knowing what to stream and not knowing what to make videos on. And that's reflected both in the stream uptime, the stream regularity even, and the up frequency of YouTube videos that I've uploaded and created. And it's not necessarily creative burnout, because that's me not knowing what the fuck to do has a very little overlap with burnout, although there is a little bit. And I did consider the fact, is it burnout? But when I'm in the zone and doing something that I'm finding enjoyable, it comes naturally. There's very little effort involved. Well, not in like a bad way, right? But besides the point. So I'm hoping that this new direction will be able to give me some revitalization, and it really has. I mean, I'm streaming like fucking 8 hours a day and playing for 16, so... You know, I can only imagine that this could be a very positive new leaf for the channel. I'm sure there's probably something I'm forgetting to say, but I don't like to milk these kind of videos. The serious side of things here tends to maybe intimidate people a little bit, even though I don't think the words have the weight that I feel like other people think they do. I think it doesn't even really matter what I think. I don't want to milk this kind of video, so yeah, all this was like completely unscripted. So I just wanted to come out and say it, right? Like, it's got to get done so I can get on with my life. All right, yo, I appreciate everyone who stopped by throughout the years to watch. If this is your departure, I appreciate it. Go subscribe to Cammy Cakes. And those of you that want to stick around and see what the fuck OS is about, check it out. Peace.